This is a topic that a lot of people are waiting for. How to apply for Recheck. Others call this Remark, but IELTS prefers to call it EOR, Inquiry on Results. For those who do not know, it is possible for you to challenge the grade that you got in IELTS. So how does this work? First things first, they charge you a fee for this. How much? In the Philippines, roughly 3,000 to 6,000 pesos depending on the exchange rate. Now, you have to check it with British Council or IDP how much is the recheck fee for that particular month. The next question after how much is the recheck, is it refundable? The answer is yes, only when your grade increases after the recheck. But if ever there are no changes, then they keep the money. What's my suggestion for you guys? Go for recheck, not just of one, but of multiple subtests because it's exactly the same fee. Whether one subtest or two subtests, you pay exactly the same amount. So after recheck, there are only two possibilities. And what are these two possibilities? Increase or as is, but your grade will never go down after recheck. So at least you're assured that that's your minimum grade already. It's not going to go down after recheck. For people who want to know, when are the results available? Unfortunately, I cannot give you a definite time. Why? If few people apply for recheck, then results are out in just after 2 weeks. But if a lot of people go for recheck, that's when it takes quite some time, up to 8 weeks. Now, some of you might want to ask, so where does recheck take place? Not in the country where you're taking the examination. It's a senior examiner based in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia head office of IDP who will reevaluate your performance if you're taking the test in IDP. But if you're taking the examination in British Council, a senior examiner based in UK will reassess your performance. So, I hope you understand why sometimes it would take quite some time because of the number of examinees taking the examination worldwide. What about the deadline? It's not as if you can apply for recheck whenever you want. You have to look at the calendar. You're given approximately 42 days, equivalent to 6 weeks after the written exams. That is the deadline for you to apply for recheck. So for pen and paper IELTS, results are out in 13 calendar days. Do the mathematics. 42 days minus 13 days, 29 days. The moment you get hold of your IELTS result, the moment you check it online, you have 29 days or less than 1 month to decide whether to go for recheck or not. What's the most important question? Does 9.09er recommend recheck? Never for listening and reading, but we're 100% with you in pushing for recheck in writing and speaking. But why not in listening and reading? In my last 14 years of teaching IELTS, in my last 13 years of operating Niner, I've never encountered anyone who got an increase in listening and reading. Perhaps because these two subtests are objective. There is an answer key. If your answer is right, you get the point. But if your answer is wrong, I'm sorry, you lose the point. But what about writing and speaking? Well, to a certain extent, it might be a little subjective because of the human factor, which is the examiner. So if you feel you're confident with your performance, then I suggest you go for recheck. Typical increase is 0.5. But if you want to ask me, what about the chances of getting 1.0 increase? That is also possible, but relatively rare. But what about the highest increase that I've encountered in my last 14 years as an IELTS teacher? If I may mention the experience of Chiara Nicolette Bautista, our former 9.09er PASA reviewee, initially she was given a 6.5 in speaking. But after the recheck, it went up all the way to 8.0, 1.5 increase. But is it just exclusive to the speaking subtest? Another reviewee, Miss Amara Burgos of 9er P Campa España, was initially given 6.5 in writing. But after the recheck, it went all the way up to 8.0. So yes, in my 14 years of IELTS expertise, I've encountered someone who got 1.5 increase in speaking and 1.5 increase in writing. What about the record? The most unforgettable, the experience of John Anthony Buen, our 9.09er Quezon City reviewee. Initially, he was given a 6.5 in speaking, but he felt that It's not the grade that he deserved. So after the recheck, it went all the way up to 8.5. Now you understand why 9.09er always pushes for remark. It does not guarantee that all of you will be successful after the recheck attempt. But 9.09er is always pushing for risks. Why? It is better to take the risk than just sitting down wondering what could have been if you went for it. So yes, we support the idea of recheck in writing and speaking, but never for listening and reading. What's up for our next video? Combination of results. I hope you're also going to watch that one. Thank you for listening. This is 9.09er. You can check our website and our Facebook account.